When I think of how God is moving in my life and of the many things I'm grateful for, I think of my journey of moving to New York City to go to seminary. I didn't start undergrad saying I wanted to move to New York or even saying that I wanted to attend seminary, but when I reflect on how I got here today, I couldn't be more thankful, and I know that without a doubt, that was truly an act of God. As many of you know, I'm from Central California, and I've lived in California for all of my life. So I wasn't looking to leave the state. And like any state, it has its not so great things, but it's home, and I never envisioned myself living in any other place. During undergrad, I wrote and I spoke about racial and social justice simply because these were the topics that felt most relevant to my community. The latter half of my undergrad, I shifted my focus a little bit, and I started including the artistry of rapper-turned-activist Tupac Shakur as a testimony to the ways that the secular and sacred intertwine when it comes to justice work. A few months after graduation, I was invited to speak during the university's chapel service about a newspaper article that I had written a couple months prior. In that article, I challenged the school to facilitate conversations around racial and social justice. The discussion went well, and I immediately thought, wow, God, you've really outdone yourself. An overwhelming sense of gratitude and thanksgiving came over me for God simply giving me the courage to speak about topics that I found joy in. I was never the most vocal child. In fact, I was often the quietest child in my childhood classrooms. But yet there I was, on stage, speaking to a crowd about the things that I was passionate about. Little did I know that a union affiliate was also on campus and was looking for students to attend a school that focused on advocacy work. When I reflect on this experience, I'm reminded that God is indeed a God of grand gestures, but is also a God of subtle actions. An event does not always have to be a grand act of God, where the clouds part and a voice from the sky begins to speak, giving distinct directions. While those are possible, and I wouldn't dare to limit God, in my experience, the moments that have caused me a deep sense of thanksgiving lie in the small leaps of faith. As I look back, my heart is filled with a deep sense of gratitude for the small encounters that have revealed God's abundant grace.